Okay, we have another nice granite culvert running right here. Let's go check it out. Walking down an icy hill, always step sideways. Okay, this one's really nice. We can walk through that. It's just like a door. Always step sideways to catch yourself. Okay, now this is nice. You feel the nice cold air because the ground is freezing. Let's get some lights. It's really nice, that nice green moss. That moss, it only takes like a day for that stuff to green up. In the winter it goes into hibernation, then it comes right back. You see this? We've dealt with this before. This is called an ice dam. Ice doesn't build all the way through these. It usually builds at the end, and it can get pretty deep, backing up the water in these. See, I just step on this and I fall in a few inches. These are my favorite ones. Now this culvert was made back in the 1880s, I think. Maybe a little before. That concrete looks brand new. The concrete they used back then was just great. Look at these holes. You see how they plugged the top with rocks to keep the soil from coming in? And there's a lot of spider nests up there too. These older ones like this were built to last forever. This thing still looks like it did the day it was put in. Now this one is exactly 6 feet tall. You see what I'm standing on now? It's icy at this end again because the cold weather made this freeze. Today it's just melting. I still gotta figure out how deep this is. Not too bad. Right there's a hole because the water coming in. Unlike concrete, granite will take thousands of years to erode. If this was a concrete culvert, you'd be seeing rebar sticking out of that everywhere. Today we're supposed to have some torrential rains. So all the snow is going to be gone. Look at this big tree that fell right down. Let's get back up to the tracks so we can keep going on our adventure. Still got a few more miles. No, just another mile, I think. This is going to be the biggest culvert along our adventure today. And it's still in great shape because when you build something out of granite, it lasts forever. And this one is still really working. This drainage ditch is picking up a lot along the railroad. And this one here goes up to the road under another culvert pipe. It's not really much of a culvert, but considering how old it is, there's absolutely no damage to the concrete there. Concrete back then was just built better. A lot of times it doesn't even fall apart. Just look at that. You can see they patched it a while back. That patch there looks brand new, but it hasn't been maintained in such a long time. Up on top of it, the tree is growing all over it. And if we walk out here, we have a really old car I can show. There's a few of them. One of the cars out here is so old that it has wooden spokes. The one with the wooden spokes I'll show next. That one's a few hundred feet up. First car is here. This one's difficult to get to in the summer. Very grown in and marshy. The engine's gone. Somebody shot a bunch of holes in it. So years ago when that track was still open, somebody towed it out here and left it. Not much left. As soon as I'm done walking the railroad, after about 3 miles, I'm going to walk back along the roadway so I can show all the culverts that this is coming from. These trails here, most of the time, they're just used by animals. People use them, but only to a certain extent. As you can see, there's still a trail now, but there's no longer anybody else's footprints here. Not really. It's mostly moose that use this. Here we have pieces of a car, and there we have the actual car. Once again, covered in bullet holes. You can see the gas tank there. This car is up on its roof. Here's the front of it. You can see the wooden spokes. I don't know what kind of car this is, but as you can see, look at the brakes. You can see there's cables going to the brakes. They're mechanical brakes, they're not hydraulic like in the newer cars. See it? 2 brake pads there. And when you stepped on the brake, these would come apart and squeeze against the inside of the wheel.